Have you ever stopped to think about how a university actually gets its start? You know, it's not just about putting up some buildings. It's about an idea, a vision, that really takes root and grows. Today, we're going to dig into the incredible story of the University of Loralai. It's a story that shows just how powerful education can be for an entire region.
So, our story starts right here, in Loralai, a city in the province of Baluchistan, Pakistan. And this place, it's not just some random spot on a map. It's actually key to understanding the whole purpose and mission of the university.
Which brings us to the big question, right? How is a university born? It doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. No, it's a journey of growth and transformation, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning. Part 1. A university takes root. We're going to look at how the very first seeds of this whole thing were planted.
So before it became the University of Loralai, it started out as something called a subcampus. What does that even mean? Well, you can think of it kind of like a satellite office for a big company. It's an extension of a main university, just in a different city, and it runs under the big university's rules. It's a really smart way to bring education to new places without having to build a whole university from scratch.
And yeah, that's exactly how this all got started. Back in 2009, this was a subcampus of the much larger, more established University of Balochistan. It was a pretty humble beginning, operating under the wing of a major institution.
On to part 2, from campus to university. This is where things get really interesting. This is where that small subcampus starts making a real deliberate move toward becoming its own thing. Just look at this timeline. You can really see how methodical this all was. After getting started in 2009, it only took 2 years for a proposal to upgrade it to be approved. Wild. Then, just a year later, it legally becomes a full university. And by 2014, the final piece of the puzzle slots into place with its very own vice-chancellor. See? This wasn't an accident. It was a carefully planned 5-year journey to complete independence.
And this right here, this is the massive leap we've been talking about. It went from being just a branch, totally dependent on another university, to a full-blown independent institution, created by law. And that's not just a name change, that's a complete transformation of its status, its responsibilities, and its entire future.
So, let's get into part 3, the university today. After that whole journey from a small campus to an independent university, what has the University of Loralai actually become?
Well, you can see its growth just by looking at the community. The university is now serving over 1,000 students. That's 1,000 people who get to have higher education right there in their own region. An opportunity that many of them might not have had otherwise.
And it's got the space to match that ambition. The campus itself is on 560 acres of land, which was a pretty significant grant from the provincial government. That's not just a number on a spreadsheet. That's a massive investment in buildings, in labs, in the future. It shows a real commitment.
So what are all those students studying? Well, it's a really diverse and practical mix of programs. You've got the foundational stuff for today's economy, like computer science and business, but also these super important professional tracks like education, law, and even a Doctor of Physical Therapy program. This isn't just a random collection of courses. It's a curriculum that's clearly designed to serve the actual needs of the community.
And the learning doesn't have to stop with a bachelor's degree. By offering master's programs and even a PhD in education, the university is showing it's serious about higher-level learning. It's becoming a place that doesn't just teach things, but actually creates new knowledge and develops local experts.
All right, part 4, a mission for tomorrow. Because a university is always more than just its buildings and courses, right? So what's the big idea that's pushing it forward? Let's check out its mission.
The university's mission is just so direct and clear: solve real-world problems for a better tomorrow. This isn't about sitting in an ivory tower. The whole point is to make a real, tangible, positive difference. That's a seriously powerful sense of purpose.
And what's really cool is that they pair that local focus with some major global ambition. The vision isn't just to be a good local university, but to earn a spot among quality institutions worldwide. That tells you everything you need to know about their commitment to high standards.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second for our last part, why it matters. We've seen the whole journey, but let's ask the biggest question of all. Why does the story of this one university really matter?
It matters because this story is just a powerful model for transformation. It shows you exactly how a small, dependent branch can grow into a vital regional hub.
A hub for education, sure, but also for new jobs, for new ideas, for opportunities that just ripple out and lift up the entire community.
And that kind of leaves us with one final big question to think about. If this is the story of what's possible for one university in one region, how many other communities are out there with that exact same potential, just waiting for someone to plant that first seed of opportunity?